now that was so cute. That was so cute. Oh, and a lot of people were saying that was so cute. Look at them. And it is cute to see little kids and some of the things that kids do and say. So what could I possibly have an issue with when I see a video like that? Well, the first issue that I had is the education that is being provided to these children. You are providing an education to these children where you're supposed to be teaching them about the fact that through the process of evaporation, and then with evaporation, we get the formation of clouds, and then with the air, with the way the wind blows, with current, air current, we have cloud movements, and then once a cloud becomes heavy enough with rain and the right type of heat and cold hits, that it then produces rain at different levels depending upon where you are in the world and what the circumstances around it. And that the true teaching these kids actually how does rain is created and how rain happens, and then why rain dissipates, would be a better way of educating your children instead of having them believe in fairy tales of a God is controlling the weather. You see, although somebody is going to say that in their Bible it says that God controls the weather, this is the mentality of people who did not understand the process of cloud formation and the process of rain. So for them, they created these gods that controlled the weather and dictated whether or not a people were being obedient to them, and then in their obedience would provide them rain for their crops, rain for them to drink, fill their rivers, fill their lakes, their ponds. They were not as knowledgeable about weather patterns as we are. They didn't have the technology. So they made up gods. And that was fine for those people back then at that time. But as the saying goes, when you know better, you do better. We don't. We know better than to teach our children that rain and sunshine is controlled by a deity. We know how weather patterns function. We know the things that we are doing to help or to inhibit good weather or weather that is prosperous for us. But yet we teach our children these fairy tales like the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus, Easter bunnies and things of that nature, instead of teaching them the truth. Children can handle the truth. If you had taught those children that how rain actually happens, which is what I taught my children, although I did mess with them at times and say that it was thousands of birds up there spitting on them so that they would get out of the rain. They knew I was joking. They knew I was just making something up. And I made sure that they understood that that's what I was doing. And then it just became a family joke. But what you don't do is teach them lies and then expect them to believe in your truth later on. What happens when these kids realize that what you had told them was a lie? To most people, they just go along with it and remain in their cognitive dissonance. But for some of us, we begin to recognize that what else did our parents lie to us about? What other things were fairy tale? What other things that they were claiming that it is the will of some deity? And then we start deconstructing all the different lies and all the different mythos and all the different stories that we were taught as children, and we begin to walk away from these religions. So let's teach our children the truth. How much smarter would they be at an earlier age if we taught them the truth instead of filling their heads with fairy tales, things that are known to be lies? So that's what I see when I see that video. I see bad parenting. I see indoctrination of your children into something that you yourself know is not a truth. You should always want to tell your truth. Their parents are lying ass liars. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.